Hey YouTube, Lord Alex here. This is going to be a fire making video. There's a lot of tinders and accelerants and fire starters that people use when they're camping. I used to be a big fan of this stuff because it's really cheap. I like cheap stuff. This is military trioxane. I could get 3 of these bars for $1 at my local surplus store. But something I found out, these packages get holes in them and they leak, and you get this blue powder that's supposedly toxic or something floating around everywhere. It doesn't burn very long, it doesn't burn real hot. It works in a pinch, but it's not the best thing. It's not, you can't really use it for cooking. That's what they're made for, but I don't know if mine are just old or what, but they only burn for 5 minutes or so, maybe 10 minutes maybe. And then you gotta do something else. So it works okay for starting your fire, but for cooking it or keeping it going, not so much. And it's messy. If this thing gets a hole in it, or if you open it up and use half of it and fold it back up, every time you fold this foil package, it weakens it, and eventually there's going to be a little hole in it, and then the little stuff is going to start oxidizing, and it's going to change consistencies, and yeah. I guess that's why they've gotten rid of this stuff now. They use a gel. Anyway, don't use this stuff anymore. Still got quite a bit of it, but don't use it anymore. I found this stuff. This is my go-to from now on. Been using it for over a year now, and this is my go-to. If you see here, 144 squares. That's a square like that. Comes in blocks like this. They're perforated. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares in each block like this. This block will burn for 10 minutes. It is waterproof, and you can light it with a ferro rod. I haven't tried lighting it with a Fresnel lens or magnifying glass yet. I don't see why it wouldn't work. If you're using a lighter and one of these, it's almost hard not to get a fire started. I mean, honestly, it just... They work. They're not the lightest thing in the world. This compared to maybe, like, say, wet fire or something like that. You have the little bitty cube, or, what's that stuff they use? Esbit tabs. That stuff's expensive. This whole box of 144 squares cost me $12. Now they do sell smaller boxes than this, but I bought the big box because, as you can see, I use it quite a bit. So 144 squares for $12. That comes down to, I don't know, 12. I don't know. Forget the math. Not trying to think that hard. Anyway, this is how I use them. If I'm just going to use a lighter, all you do is you can do light like this if you want, but you can actually use this to make several fires if you need to in an emergency situation. It's layered, so you can peel it apart. See that like that? You can peel this thing off into layers, and you can use it 2 or 3 times. Here I have one that's been soaking in some water. Oh, and I'm spilling water everywhere. Look at me. Okay, anyway, yeah, it's soaking in water. And I couldn't find the particular ferro rod I was going to use today. So I brought out this one. This is a copy of a blast match. I have a real blast match in my canteen kit. This came from dx.com, Deal Extreme. It's very, very similar to a blast match. Works the same. I got the towel out because I don't want to have little burn marks all over my new workbench. And I'm going to do it inside the ashtray so I don't catch anything on fire. I'll show you how easy this stuff lights up. I mean, it's real quick. Just bam, and it's done. And I just blew it out, so, but bam, and it's done. If you're gonna cook with this, it says on here, instant start, lights when wet, no dangerous flare up. Also says on here somewhere, exceeds California air quality standards. Wow, who cares? Says somewhere it will not distaste your food. Will not flavor food. Right there. It's non-toxic. Provides 8 to 10 minutes of flame. I use it for, instead of charcoal fluid, for lighting charcoal, I use one of these. And it seems to be enough. I use it when I'm starting fires out in the woods. And I use it to heat up my canteen cup. One thing I will say about using it for your canteen cup in a small canteen stove is it's a little bit sooty. So it will get your canteen cup sooty black. I have mine painted black on the outside with grill paint anyway, so that's not a big deal. Okay, when I'm going to use one of these things, if I'm going to light it with a ferro rod, let me use this. I'll bring out the wet one here in a second, but just to let you see, it's still sitting in water there. Get my camp knife, my nicely well-worn K-bar large heavy buoy. And what I do to get the most surface area possible, I use my knife like an awl and just spin it on here like that. And what that does is it kind of fluffs out some of that material, whatever this stuff is made out of. It's like, it's almost like it's cardboard that's shredded and pressed together with some type of an oil or something. I'm not even sure. But I just do this type of thing here till I get all the way through it, or pretty close, and I've got all this dust came off the top of it. I don't even do that very much. You can do a lot more and make quite a bit more of this dust. Then, actually, I'm just going to use this like you, instead of using it like a blast match, I'm going to use it like it's a regular ferro rod. I hate these things. Guys, use your knife, back of your knife, or the saw on your multi-tool, something like that. Don't carry around this extra little piece of crap. But for this demonstration, I don't want to be flinging my knife at this glass ashtray. So I'm going to use this little guy here. I don't even think this thing will throw sparks. Yeah, see how crappy that is? Doesn't even throw sparks. See? Just like that. First spark. Let me do that again. Get the blast match here. First spark. That's good stuff. That's good stuff right there. Alright. I'm going to do the same thing with the wet one. This is nice and wet. I mean, it's soaking wet. It's dripping. It is soaked. And you see I drilled a little hole in it on the other side. I was messing with it earlier. Do the same thing. Put it here. Nice and wet. Like it was in my pocket. And I had to go swimming for some reason. I was walking around in the river doing some fishing or whatever I was doing. Go ahead and spin it just like this. Get some of that nice dust out of there. It's not even dust, it's kind of like a pulp almost. I'm getting through that one on the hole in my new table. Alright. Same thing. One more again. A blast match, or this is even an imitation blast match. Guys that don't know about these things, I'll make a video about my real blast match. They're awesome. I've heard people say, oh yeah, try to make a one-strike fire with your ferro rod. And it's hard. I'm not sure I've seen anybody do it yet. These will do it. They put a very, very hot flame into a very tight area, and it's very controllable. Put this on here. Well, I'm not even getting a spark here. Let's try it again. There we go. Oh. A little bit harder when it's wet, but it still lights up. No problem. Take this, all you gotta do is dig out some of that stuff at the inside there. Because that's been soaking there for quite a while now. But this inside is still dry. Get back to that same spot. I guess I'm getting some oxidation on my ferro rod here. That's why it's not wanting to spark so well. There we go. Alright. There we go. First shot again. And this is soaking wet. You see what I mean? This stuff burns good, man. I'm blowing it. Trying to burn it out. Okay. This is great stuff, man. Go out and try to find some of this stuff. Rutland Safe Lite Fire Starter Squares. I bought mine at Tractor Supply. If you don't have a Tractor Supply near you, I don't know, look online. I'm sure they have it somewhere online. There's probably other places that sell it. You can probably find it on Amazon or eBay or wherever. This is awesome stuff. You know, I bet. Yeah, this thing's still soaking wet. Look at that. That's in the water there. Burning great. In the water. I'm holding this thing underwater here. And the stuff that's sitting up over the top is... Oh, okay, now it's... there you go. It's still burning though. I'm trying to put it out here with the water. Showing you how good this stuff works. Now, I just soaked all this, but... I bet... Since I did that, let me see here. Let's try tearing this thing open. Look at that. Alright, there's my fire starting video and my preferred fire starter. Go ahead and pick you some up, try it out, see how you like it. It's not extremely light. I'm not big on ultralight crap anyway because it's usually really expensive or you're not carrying enough stuff. So I like to have a little bit of stuff, don't mind a little bit of weight. I keep these in my truck, I keep them in my camping kit, I keep them in my cooking kit. I keep them scattered out everywhere. This is really good stuff. It's hard not to light a fire with this stuff. Alright, thanks for watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, comment, rate, and all that fun stuff. And be good YouTube pals, and try this for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys.